Good morning, Horizon. We're in Psalm 116 this morning. And if I were to set it up, I would ask you this question. Can you recall in your life a time when God literally rescued you, bailed you out, met you, brought you through a very hard circumstance? I have a friend who just went through COVID, close to death, out the other side. I wonder if those of us who have walked with God for some time can all recall a time when God did something like that. And if I were to say, once you recall that, if I were to ask you to just kind of write down your feelings, write down as you recall that, what would it sound like? What would you say? Well, we have a great example here. Psalm 116. I love the Lord, for he heard my voice. He heard my cry for mercy. Because he turned his ear to me, I will call on him as long as I live. The cords of death entangled me. The anguish of the grave came over me. I was overcome by distress and sorrow. Then I called on the name of the Lord. Lord, save me. The Lord is gracious and righteous. Our God is full of compassion. The Lord protects the unwary. When I was brought low, he saved me. Return to your rest, my soul, for the Lord has been good to you. For you, Lord, have delivered me from death, my eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling, that I may walk before the Lord in the land of the living. I trusted in the Lord when I said, I am greatly afflicted. In my alarm I said, everyone is a liar. What shall I return to the Lord for all his goodness to me? I will lift up the cup of salvation and call on the name of the Lord. I'll fulfill my vows to the Lord in the presence of all his people. Precious is the sight of the Lord. In the sight of the Lord is the death of his faithful servants. Truly, I am your servant, Lord. I serve you just as my mother did. You freed me from my chains. I will sacrifice a thank offering to you and call on the name of the Lord. I'll fulfill my vows to the Lord in the presence of all his people, in the courts of the house of the Lord, in your midst, Jerusalem. Praise the Lord. I love this psalm. I love the visceral reaction. I love him recounting how God brought him through, saved him, how it felt to him, how he felt abandoned on all sides. But God, he had great confidence, and God brought him through. And thus his response was one of proclamation. Let me tell you how good the Lord is. Let me tell you what he's done for me. And his commitments to the Lord through that. I will walk with the Lord for the rest of my days. I'll fulfill my vows to him. I recall and I recount similarly, when you sense God's sufficiency, you sense he's always enough and he brings you through. There's a deep sense of trust that you begin to operate from. Like, I don't know much, but I know I can count on the Lord, and thus I will walk with him the rest of my days. Perhaps it may be fruitful for you to recall some of the times and some of the ways that God has brought you through, has met you, has delivered you from the cords of death, as a way of, even in these days, not supplanting, but really grounding again a sense of deep, deep trust of his sufficiency in all times and places. Grace and peace to you.